Hey, what is going on, everyone? Can you hear me? I'm just doing a quick mic check. Want to make sure that you guys can hear me. Welcome, everybody, to the 30 for 30. I'm having a great day. Hopefully, you guys are as well. Just let me know. Like I said, you guys, please let me know if you guys can hear me or not. Don't want to be rambling and not be able to be heard. So, cool. So welcome, guys. Welcome, everyone, to this really exciting, super exciting event. Go Lions. If you're not a Lions fan, that's okay too. But I am really happy to be here today. Super happy to be live with all of you. And I wanted to let you guys know what this is all about. So for those of you that have been watching this channel for any length of time, you guys know that I am a seed geek. And we just so happen to have our own seed company. If you don't know about M.I. Gardner Seeds, now you know. And M.I. Gardner Seeds has always been a place that I have really called home. I've really enjoyed running a seed company. I enjoy the people I work with. I have a lot of fun. And everyone was always asking me, Luke, what do you want for your birthday? What do you want for your birthday? And I don't really need anything. I'm very content the way that I am. And so I said, what would be really fun? What would be really fun is to have a celebration. We've never dropped 30 new varieties for no reason at all. And I kind of wanted an excuse to do that. So you guys know that every single year we have our launch party. And our launch party, we unveil our new varieties. We drop new seeds. We have a bunch of fun. We hang out. But we've never just had a random drop where we've dropped almost like 10%. It's gonna be about 6%, maybe about 5% actually, of the total seeds we have. We're gonna be adding 5% additional more just because it's my birthday. And so I thought it'd be really fun to aim for 30 because it's my 30th birthday. And so yeah, so for everyone that's wishing me happy birthday, I appreciate that. Thank you. Thanks, Deb. Appreciate you, Ginger. I'm having a wonderful birthday. Thanks to you being here. Roseanne and Anita. So many, oh my gosh, so many cool people here. The seeds are actually available. Well, they're not available yet. They're going to be available at 11:15, and they're going to officially go into stock hopefully right around that time. I'll give you guys a kind of a 2 thumbs up when they're in stock. Katie's next to me. She's kind of working on that. She's our inventory manager. She's got that under control. And so as far as what I had planned, I was going to go through each variety, talk about each one, but you can also go onto our website and kind of browse them and check them out. They are in the coming soon section of the website, and you can find them there. And basically when they are available, you can start to, you can check them out. So what do you guys say? Do you want to go through the varieties? You want me to talk about them, or do you want to do other things? You guys can be the party host. I'm just a guest here. I am not a baby. Goodness gracious. I'm still not. I might seem young because I just shaved. I always seem like I'm like 5 years younger when I shave. But no, I'm 30. I'm 30 years old. So all right. Okay, Jill, you got it. Karen, you got it. Okay, we'll talk about them. So I'm going to rifle through them because I don't want to be too long here. And plus, I do want to get back on the line. Contrary to popular belief, I never have outgrown our roots, right? Like people always say, Luke, I love that you stay true to where you are and you don't stop what you're doing. Before this, I was checking orders. Like, I was packing seeds on Friday. Like I love to do this. It's part of what I do. It's really enjoyable. So we got lots of orders. Before we get started, I just want to let you know, anyone that places an order today, you're gonna have to wait a tiny bit. That's totally fine. Spring is, around the corner, but it's still a ways off. We are working as fast as humanly possible. We have brought on a couple new team members. We've made some shifts, made some changes, and we are working as fast as possible to get orders out in a timely manner. The estimated turnaround time currently, the moment you place your order, it's going to take On the shortest, we're estimating around 7 days. On the longest, up to maybe 10 to 11 business days to get your order out. Obviously, this is our busiest time. As they say, you got to make bread when you have the flour. So right now, like we're doing the best that we can with the resources that we have. And so I want you guys just to stay patient. Know that when you place your order, it will not get shipped the next day. We're not Amazon Prime. I wish we were, but we're all human. We don't have any robots. And so the nice thing is that we just have to work with the resources that we have. So just stay patient. If you place your order, we're working on the 10th and 11th today. So obviously that's 11 days, right? But don't look at that because we don't work Saturdays and we don't work Sundays. So those are 2 days that are kind of taken out of the equation. So right now, that's like 9 business days, right? So 9 business days from the total of 11 days. So if you place your order on the 10th and 11th, those orders are going out today, and we're gonna get rocking and rolling. So, all right, first one I am super pumped about, really pumped about. These ones are organically grown. These are and also, so these come from a farmer over in Holland, Michigan. Great guy. Him and his wife have been lifelong farmers, but they specialize in growing dry soup beans, specifically rare varieties of dry soup beans. And so I am really excited for my birthday to be dropping the Hooterite soup bean. Now, the Hooterite soup bean it's really special bean. It reminds me very much like a navy bean crossed with the meatiness of like a black bean or like a kidney bean. It's a very firm bean. It holds up really well in soups, but it also makes an incredible hummus. I put some of these in an Instapot, took about a cup of them, threw them in an Instapot with some broth, and I softened them up, and then I blended them with some tahini and some parsley, lemon juice. So really creamy. It reminded me very much like a chickpea, but really cool. So love the Hooterite soup bean. That's a really awesome one. Next one is another really special one. This also comes from same farmer over in Holland, Michigan, I should say. And this is the dapple gray bush bean. So the dapple gray bush bean, it's really similar to the orca bean, if you've ever seen that. But what's really awesome, it's also known as the Appaloosa bean. And what's really cool about this is these also are a really firm soup bean. They're going to hold their shape. They're not going to turn mushy on you. So these are a wonderful soup bean as well. They have great color, really unique, just if you're using for decoration, beautiful, but they have a really firm texture, which makes them really superior to other soup beans. Another cool thing about these is these have the highest amount of iron, actually. I did some research prior to me coming on here. These have the highest amount of iron of any bean that you're going to find. So if you're needing a little bit of extra iron, beans are a great source of iron, but the dapple gray bush bean actually has slightly more iron, about 2% more iron. Again, according to what source you read, about 2% more iron than other beans. So you got good protein source, good iron source. It's great for winter like this. So next one, we're going alphabetical here. So we got Golden Rush wax bean. You guys have been begging for more beans. Beans in general are some of my more favorite crops to grow. I love growing beans, whether they're dry beans, snap beans, pole beans, whatever they may be. They're awesome. Now, I love these. I specifically will grow these and mix them into a ratio about 50-50 with green beans. So if you watched our video, let's say 2 videos ago, maybe one, about what we were doing in 2024 for our garden, the word of the year for the garden is nostalgia. And I grew up with what they call a bean blend. Every year we had Thanksgiving, Christmas, Easter, didn't matter. Until we got together as a family, we actually we blended our beans. We had a green bean and my grandma called them a butter bean. Maybe that is what they're called. I would call them like a wax bean, like a yellow wax bean, but there was always a bean blend on the table. Didn't matter the occasion. There's always a bean blend. I think that's just they grew them and threw them all together in the freezer. And the texture, they're so soft and silky and they're actually very sweet in comparison to like a green bean, but they're really good. I love these. So I had to carry these. These are definitely going in our garden this year. So we got the Golden Rush, wax bean. Now we're coming up to a cool one here. This is, if you guys like growing heritage varieties, you guys really like growing unique heirloom varieties, we have the Charleston Wakefield cabbage. Now you'll notice the shape on this is really interesting. This is actually what they consider an old world cabbage. You have new world cabbages, which are more of your rounded shaped bowling ball cabbages. These are considered an old world cabbage because before they were domesticated, the conical shape that they gave was the first kind of shape that cabbages took on. And the Charleston Wakefield actually comes from a really important lineage of cabbage, going full seed geek on you. But you have a lot of Wakefield varieties. There's many different. It's a lot like the Ford Hook, right? Ford Hook was a really important plant breeder that basically breeded plants, right? Domesticated plants. And so the Wakefield lineage is really important to the agricultural world. So definitely one to check out. Really, really great for making sauerkrauts. Very popular in Germany as well. So if you really like, good sauerkraut, coleslaw, whatever. I've seen people making kimchi with them even. So if you do like Korean food, usually those are done with Napa cabbages, but you can also do those with the Charleston Wakefield, which is cool. Oh,
11:15.
Oh, 11:15. I saw the other note here.
It's her birthday. Say happy birthday to her.
Oh, I didn't know what that note was. So apparently it is Danielle's birthday as well. So Danielle, happy birthday. I won't try to sing because I'm not a great singer, but happy birthday, Danielle. So Katie just told me that seeds are in stock. Seeds are in stock. So we're going to keep talking about these varieties, but if you want to break away and you want to do some seed shopping, at least open up a different window. Just open up a separate window so you can hear me talking about these varieties while you're shopping. Don't leave us fully because we still got a lot more to go through, but I'm really excited about this. So happy birthday, Danielle. If anyone else has a happy birthday, it's my birthday too. JNL List. Happy birthday to you, JNL List. Happy birthday to you. So yeah, we are just it's apparently a lot of people's birthday. All right. So next one here, this is a new world variety of cabbage. I love this. This is great because of one reason. This variety right here, it's called All Seasons for a reason. Now, the reason why it's called All Seasons is because you have a late season, a mid-season, and an early season cabbage. You also have what is considered a spring variety of cabbage, and a summer variety of cabbage, as well as a fall variety of cabbage, because certain cabbages won't form tight enough heads depending on the time of year, and also some will head at a different time. The great thing about this variety is this is like the chameleon of the cabbage world. It basically takes on the form of whatever condition you're growing in. It forms heads in spring, summer, and fall. It will also form heads. Basically, it's not really an early season. It's not really a mid-season or a late season. It has a very specific amount of days for it to form a head. And so this variety here is going to form heads in about 80 to 90 days, which puts it squarely in kind of the middle to late category. But because it doesn't have any criteria and when it forms a head, it's very versatile. So this one I grew because I love dependability. And this one is a heavy hitter when it comes to dependability. You're going to get heads that are about 3 to 4 pounds each. So a medium-sized cabbage, not really big, but not really small, like your smaller kind of purple-headed cabbages or your golden acre cabbages. These are much more medium-sized cabbage, nice thick heads, and so definitely one to grow. Yes, normal heat, even in Texas, absolutely. It's not, certain temperatures will not allow cabbages to head. If you've ever had a cabbage that has really loose heads, really loose wrapped leaves, you get a lot of air gaps. That can lead to things like mold, downy mildew, things like that. But if you have really tight, thick heads or really tightly wrapped heads of cabbage, it actually can be pretty resilient regardless of the weather. So give that one a shot. I'm not making any promises, obviously. There are certain extremes that it won't grow in. But from my research, the reason why we carried this one is because of dependability. So give that one a shot. Someone is saying that Dapple Gray is not available yet. So all good. But Jennifer, Katie's on it. She's the one on the back end making all the magic happen. I'm just the one blabbering here. So next one. I gotta say, I am frankly the most excited about this variety. I don't think I'm more excited about a cabbage variety or really any of this. Is probably my top 5, conservatively, probably top 5 favorite varieties we are unveiling. This is the purple Seavoy cabbage. Now, what's crazy about this, if you'll notice, this has both purple and green leaves. It is a bicolored cabbage. It is one of the only true heirloom bicolored cabbages that exist. It is incredible because it's a Seavoy. It's going to have those really crinkly leaves, wonderful for coleslaw, wonderful for sauerkraut, but also great for making things like kimchi. This is great as well because the fact that this is more of your early season cabbage. You're talking about right about 60 to 70 days, 65, 70 days or so. So it's more of your early season cabbage. Plant it in the spring. You're going to be harvesting by probably like mid to late July. Super reliable. But again, the color. Oh my gosh, you guys. The color just blows me away. When I saw this, I said, how are we not carrying this? Like this is, yes. So purple Seavoy cabbage. I'm pumped about it. Next, this one is a really long awaited one. We were really trying to, carry things we wouldn't normally consider carrying. Like these were a bit of a reach because they're pretty unique, but I want unique stuff as well. You guys know that the celery category has been a little bit lacking. A lot of you have wrote in saying, I want to try some more varieties of celery. We have our pink plume celery. We have our Utah tall celery. We have our celeriac, which is our celery root. We don't really have a lot of celery varieties. Until now, we had our 4th variety of celery called Golden Boy. This Golden Boy celery is really cool because it is considered a naturally blanched celery. Naturally blanched means that it is basically, because it's so light in color, traditionally we'd have to do is you have to blanch the celery by either hilling up soil to keep it out of sunlight, or you'd have to put a sleeve over top of it to basically keep it out of sunlight. The great thing with this, it's not truly albino, but it is very, very yellow in color, meaning it doesn't create as much of that bitter green flavor that happens with celery if you don't blanch it. So absolutely try growing Golden Boy. It's a longer grow, 80 to 90 days, a little bit faster than your traditional Utah tall celery at like 100 and 110 days. So it's faster to mature, but again, no blanching required. This is basically just, grab it and go, which is awesome. So consider growing this. Obviously you can blanch it if you want, but you're going to have much more of a, much less, I should say, of a bitter flavor than you would like a traditional green variety of celery.
Is
So
it less stringy?
it's probably just as stringy. Yeah, it's probably just as stringy as a normal celery. All celery is pretty stringy. But I will say too, the less stringy celery stalks are on the inside. The older and more mature outer stalks are stringier because those stalks have fully formed. If you get the younger, more immature stalks on the inside, those are the ones I prefer for fresh eating because they're not, well, I can't eat celery. So like those are the ones that if I'm going to like munch on celery, right, I would recommend munching on the younger ones because they are going to be less stringy. I'm allergic to celery unless it's cooked. So I'm weird. I'm a freak. I know. So let's move on here to Bodacious sweet corn. Now, this one here, I want to be fully transparent. This one is a hybrid. Okay, we have a couple hybrids here. So you know what? I'm going to roll them all out at once here. We're going to do all 3. These 3 are hybrid corns. Okay, they're not heirloom. I know you're probably thinking, ugh, I thought you were all heirloom. Okay, there are a couple hybrids only because I grew up with them. They are tried and true. They are hybrid varieties. They're not GMO. they are just hybrid. And hybrid basically just means that you select out a trait that you really want to favor. When it comes to certain sweet corns, you're going to get a really crispy, crunchy kernel with a plump, sweet flavor. And it does not have to be harvested as young. It has a little more forgiveness. The cobs are going to be slightly larger. Some of these ones you can even get two ears per stalk, which is great if you're growing less stalks or you have smaller space to work with. And so these are hybrids here. Okay, these are the these three and the ambrosia. Correct. Yes, ambrosia. We'll have 4 hybrid sweet corns. The rest are all truly heirloom. You can grow them year to year, expect the same thing. But these right here, I grew up on. My grandpa planted out a huge corn patch. And again, talking about nostalgia, these are going to be in our garden this year. And the first thing he would grow is peaches and cream. Now, peaches and cream is considered an early variety of sweet corn. These corns are going to be early season, early to mature, probably the first you're going to pick. Then you have candy corn. Candy corn is considered your intermediate season. This is going to be like, your late August, early September corn. This is going to be all yellow. So peaches and cream, a little bit of white, a little bit of yellow, hence peaches and cream. This candy corn is all yellow. Very, very sweet. Super good. I personally consider candy corn and ambrosia to be my all-time favorites, just because the size of the cobs, we're talking thick, giant, big cobs. Also, sometimes up to 2 ears per stalk, which is great. And then you have bodacious, which is your late season corn. This is a little more forgiving, does not create starches as fast. So it's gonna be like your later season, like late August, early September into like late September if you're lucky. But eventually this one will get starchy as well. But it's a lot more forgiving. Really great, all yellow, super crunchy. This is like, if you've ever had sweet corn and it's been all yellow, you probably had one of these 2 varieties. It is just amazing. So those are the corn varieties. 3 new corns, all hybrids, but it's because we really want to carry some nostalgic seeds that I will be growing in my garden. Let's see here. Yeah, the purple Seavoy. Oh my gosh, I stepped away and I'm just seeing the purple Seavoy. Yeah, OMG. Yeah, it is incredible. So beautiful. Okay, here's another. This is a really, really rare one. This is a rare one. I am obsessed with it. Hydrate. Okay, this is called the Rhenish pickle. Now, if you guys have ever had cornichons, they are those tiny, super teeny, tiny little cucumbers that come in like German gherkins, sometimes they're called. But they are cornichons. They are sometimes spicy, but generally more often than not, they're going to be like a bread and butter, kind of a sweet style pickle. Again, I grew up, every family get together we ever had. This may be a very Midwest thing, so don't come after me. But every get together we ever had, we had whole olives, which tasted like metallic little balls. I just despise olives. I do not eat olives unless they're like fresh grown or like high quality canned olives. Not good. But the rest of my family really loves them. I respect them for that. But those little green olives and black olives from a can were always piled up. Then you had carrot sticks, which I was allergic to, couldn't have them. And then next to that was they always had a big tub of cottage cheese. Also don't partake in that unless, of course, I just discovered I love it with fruit. So they always had that. And then there was my go-to, the thing. There was also a big thing of broccoli. My grandma always put a big thing of broccoli out, so can't forget that. There's a big thing of broccoli, then a ranch dip in the middle. But then next to it was a big tray of cornichon, little itty bitty pickles. They're the best thing, in my opinion. You can't get any better. And that was the Rhenish pickle. Now, this is truly your quintessential cornichon pickle. This is what they're used for. You can let them get bigger. You can slice them. You can do things like that. You can eat them raw. You don't have to pickle them. But if you're going to make little itty bitty pickles. This is the one. This is the cucumber. So give that a shot. All right. So we're approaching 30 minutes here. So I'm going to kind of speed up my pace a little bit here. We got 2 more cucumbers. We've got the Marketer and the Poinsett 76. The Marketer cucumber is what you'd consider to be, hold them up here so you can see them. There we go. So the Marketer cucumber is what you consider to be more your spineless salad slicing, kind of very just all around kind of like a European greenhouse style cucumber. Very, very good. Love it for that. Spineless. It's going to be great. It's not burpless. If you get cucumber burps, you're still going to get them with these. We don't carry any burpless varieties because those are all hybrids. But this right here, this Marketer variety is spineless. It's really, really great. I would not recommend it for pickles because it doesn't have spines. It's going to get softer on you quite fast. So go with that for fresh eating. It's really great. Smaller size too. About this one here. This one is about 6 to 8 inches in length. So it's a little more slender and good for fresh eating. Poinsett 76 is your tried and true household variety of heirloom. The 76 comes from the case count back in the day. They'd create a case count. That way, supermarkets would know how many come in a case generally. So farmers would grow this variety for consistent shape and size, hence the 76. 76 of these would fit in a case. That's always a question that comes up. You have your Heinz 55 tomato. You've got your Poinsett 76, your Ace 55 tomato. You've got your Wisconsin 55 tomato. You've got your Blue Lake 274 bean. You've got your all those ones that have names attached to them, right? All those ones that have names, those are the case count back in the day when they would put them in cases. And so those names are associated with how many were estimated to fit into a case, basically. So we since have kind of left that system. Still, some people do adhere to that, but oftentimes that's a bit of an old way of farming. But the names obviously stuck around. Next, I am super pumped about this one. Now, if you guys know anything about me, you know that I married a Mexican lady, and she's a very pretty lady, and her name is Cindy, Mrs. Emma Gardner. She introduced me to, because I don't do caffeine. You don't want to see me on caffeine. She introduced me to a type of tea that absolutely blew my mind. It is tangy. It is sweet. It is a bit sour. Any guesses? Any guesses on what this might be? Very popular in Mexico. Any guesses? I'll give you a second to guess. If nobody gets it, I will just... Yes, Jenny, you're right. Yes. Hibiscus. It's Roselle Asian sour leaf hibiscus. This is amazing. It is so good. It is naturally kind of citrusy, lemony, sour. Gives the most beautiful color to tea. I absolutely love it with tea. It is just phenomenal. Nothing gets a whole lot better than some hibiscus tea, especially if you're sick. It's very high in vitamin C. Really, really good. This is truly one of my all-time favorite types of like floral teas. Nothing really gets past it. This is also, if you grew up in a Mexican household, you grew this variety. It was brought over from Asia. So it is native to Asia, hence why they call it Asian sour leaf. Native to Asia, brought it over during the herb spice trades long time ago. And Hispanic cultures have been growing this for hundreds of years. Very, very popular. And so if you've ever gone into a bodega or a fruteria, you probably have seen the dried hibiscus flowers. That is these right here, this same variety. It is so incredible. One of my all-time favorites. Super happy to have it. And so, very, very excited about it. Next one here. This one we carried a while ago, and a lot of you have asked it to come back, so I decided to bring it back. This one here has been really highly requested, especially because there's been such a craze in growing artisan pumpkins and gourds. They call them like stacking gourds or stacking pumpkins. This is the Turk's turban. Now, the Turk's Turban is a really beautiful, super incredible gourd. It's just unlike anything I've really ever seen. But these are really, really pretty. And so these would be considered like the topper if you're doing stacking pumpkins or just anything decorative like that. These are awesome. Now, it is a winter squash. Some people do eat them. Most people just use them for decoration. They are edible, though. So if you want to give them a shot, they're not like some of your other decorative gourds, which are going to be not edible, right? It's a lot of decorative gourds to be careful of. And well, like these two here. So, so you got the Turk's Turban, but then you also have here your two gourds. So you have your bicolored pear and your Sheenot Crown of Thorns gourd. And we also call these ghost gourds. You take these, paint them white. They look like super cool little ghosts. But then also these bicolored pear. Now, reason why I'm carrying these are actually becoming increasingly hard to find. This Sheenot Crown of Thorns gourd, it over time, it's not really falling out of style as much as it's getting replaced. A lot of newer pumpkin growers are growing more of your traditional white, your newer white, your newer green, what they consider to be your all color gourds. All color gourds, because they tend to have a better marketability, are replacing this right here. Now, as you know, I'm all about heirlooms. I'm all about biodiversity. Those all started with this gourd right here. So if you want to grow a really cool variety, really beautiful, decorative gourd, but also help to preserve biodiversity, get yourself some of these. These are incredible. Don't let these get replaced. Otherwise, sometime down the road, we're going to say, what happened to that variety? Well, it's gone. So let's not fall into that mistake. That's why we're carrying these. Now, this one right here, this one is really special to me. This was the very first gourd that I ever grew. A lot of you know that I talked about Luke's pumpkin patch, or Luke's pumpkin stand, I should say. Luke's pumpkin stand was something that, if my parents are watching, they allowed me to plant a pumpkin patch at my grandpa's house. And I was about 7 years old. It's because I was a hustler. I was trying to make a little side buck. And because they allowed me to do that, I said, well, I'm going to grow gourds. I'm going to grow pumpkins. I grew this variety right here. This was at the time when I was about 7 years old. This was the more popular gourd that you would find. Now, this variety right here is not an edible gourd. You're not going to want to eat this. It's actually what is considered like a native gourd. These actually grow native to North America, and they are wonderful. They dry them out. We just did a video breaking open a painted gourd ornament. If you're someone that wants to make Christmas ornaments, this makes a very good dried Christmas ornament. How it works is you dry this out completely, and then you can paint the outer shell. You can put a screw through it, hang it. You can decorate it however you want. Some people use air drying clay, and they will make like little decorations and stuff on there. And basically, this is this is your drying gourd, right? So they also look pretty when they're not dried. So that is that. Now, yes, I am 30. I am 30 years old. Hey, how's it going? Mrs. Emma Gardner popped in.
I'm just looking for my backpack.
Oh, it's over there. You didn't drop in to say hi, just dropped in for your backpack. Okay. More like hi and bye. So Cindy, I'm thinking we're gonna be. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I got 13 more varieties. So I'm a little over halfway. I'm gonna fly through these. I'm hoping to be done before 12 o'clock. Just so you know. So okay. So let's see here. Thank you so much, Jordan. I really appreciate that. Superb Seeds and Company. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Free shipping. So if you have seeds, Michelle, if you wouldn't mind tagging Katie real quick, she may want to check the shipping on the new varieties to make sure that they're put in the right shipping class, because that could be what's happening. If you guys, yes, this is common. That's fine. Yeah, just
if it's a problem and they notice it, place your order so you don't lose your place, and we will refund you.
yes, yeah. So if you want to place your order, we can refund the shipping. But if you are getting shipping, if you have whatever whatever 10 packs of seed, and you're still getting shipping, either you have other things like merch, fertilizer, those things will increase shipping. You're going to have shipping on those because they're bulky and they're heavy. But if you have just seeds, and you're still getting charged shipping, please let us know. We're going to check them all, because sometimes, depending on how new they are, sometimes we don't always move them into the right shipping class, and then they'll be charged shipping. So, and so
Who did I miss?
you may not have missed. They might have. I didn't get. I just thought about it. I just thought about it because someone said that they were being charged shipping. All right, next year, this one is really exciting. This one is French thyme. You guys know we don't have any thyme varieties. We only have the English thyme, and we have the French thyme now. French thyme, you'll notice, has a much tighter, stouter growth habit. This one is really wonderful for making sachets, herb sachets, things like that, because it's really, really tightly bound. So this one's a great one. All right, now you also have this one. Pumped about it. Probably the most excited about this. This is in my top 5. We're going to be carrying now one of my all-time favorite kind of like superfoods, and that is moringa. Moringa is a vitamin C powerhouse. Every part of the plant is edible. Obviously, do your research on how to prepare those different parts of the food, or different parts of the plant, I should say. But everything from the leaves to, I've been told, the roots, I've been told the stems, the bark, the flowers, I've been told every part is edible. Now, moringa, I've always just used the leaves personally. So that's all I can really truly speak to the experience of. But they are awesome. These are super, super healthful. They grow very fast. They do not need to be grown as a indoor house plant. If you live up here in Michigan, start them early. They're going to grow very fast for you. And you can generally get them to about 4 to 6 feet tall within a growing season. They grow very fast. And so what I'd recommend doing is getting them in the ground and growing them. And then if they happen to die, you can restart them. Grow them as an annual. Or if you'd like to dig them up and move them indoors, they can do very well in a nice south-facing, strong sunlight window. So so definitely give moringa a try. Very high in vitamin C. This one is a superfood must try, and you really can't go wrong. I mean, this one, like I said, even if you don't get it to produce pods, you're going to get leaves, and that's really all you need. Dry the leaves up, throw them in smoothies, throw them in salads, throw them in however you want. They are really, really good, and they have almost no flavor, which I think is great too, because they don't have a whole lot of flavor. Sometimes if you have like a green juice or a smoothie, you want to kind of keep flavors that would kind of like collide a little bit and make it taste kind of funky. Moringa won't do that. Moringa basically has no flavor at all. So it's a really great kind of just slip it in your kids' food. They'll never know that it's there. I've known some people to bake with it. They'll throw it into baked goods. And for picky eaters that don't get a lot of like vitamin C, maybe their kids don't like fruit all that much or whatever. Again, speaking from experience, my kids love fruit. In fact, Enzo, like that's all he eats is fruit. But I've known some kids that just don't like fruit, and vitamin C is really important to development and your immune system. So throw this into some baked goods. Like I've seen some people add it to like banana bread and stuff, and it's really good. Yeah, I throw it in about everything. There you go. Yeah, Anna knows what's up. Yeah. All right. Alrighty here. So we also have next one. This is an OG variety. This one is nostalgic. I love this. This was one of the very first varieties of heirloom lettuce that I grew. This one is the Tom Thumb Dwarf Bib. Now, these suckers are tiny. They only get like this big. They're a small little bib butterhead lettuce. If you're growing in a small space, you want a fast growing lettuce, check this one out. This one is awesome. I absolutely love this variety. Like I said, it's one of the very first varieties I ever grew that was an heirloom. I was introduced to this variety from one of my good friends. He actually grew them over in the UK, and he moved over here. His dad worked in the automotive industry, and they had always a big kitchen garden. And when they had their kitchen garden, they would run out. They'd like cut what they needed for the meal, bring it in. It was my first experience with like a true home garden. Growing up, my parents had like a pot of tomatoes, but they went to the grocery store for a lot of their food. And so you can come in. You're good. So basically this one, I grew up with this one. And Oliver, if you're watching, hopefully you're doing well.
Happy birthday to
you.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Lou. Happy birthday to you.
This was not planned. This was not planned. Wow.
My battery died. Oh no.
Oh my gosh. This is crazy. Thank you guys. Everyone's saying I turned beet red. I wouldn't doubt it. My goodness. Oh, thank you.
Make a wish.
Hey. Thank you guys. Thank you. Oh, what?
Wait a minute.
Is this a trick candle?
Knowing you guys, yeah.
I was
Yes.
Honey, wow.
Yeah, I did the Casey move. Awesome. So I get fruit now?
Yeah, you can eat your fruit, yeah.
Oh, sweet. Thank you.
And then Katie also made dirt cups as well. So
Awesome. You guys, I'm having a great day. Thank you guys so much.
there are people out here. They're just camera shy.
Yeah, well, I won't show everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's small office.
Wanna come on Seaways,
Yeah.
Oh.
So
yeah, but we're ordering you guys pizza too, so
oh yeah, okay. Awesome. I love pizza. Thank you.
yeah.
Love you. Appreciate you.
Yay.
Yay.
Good job, guys. Good
Oh,
job.
that's awesome. Look at that. Look at that.
Yeah.
Thanks, Kirsten.
I didn't buy them.
So, I don't know who did what, but yeah, what a surprise! Wow. Thank you guys.
I was like, oh, these clips are a good idea.
So you guys are like, wow, that was really cool. I was not expecting that. Thank you.
Okay, back to your seat.
Okay.
You should talk about
Mm.
oranges.
Oh yeah, you guys haven't tried sumo orange? Sumo oranges are like my all-time favorite orange. They're super juicy, huge mandarin, amazing. I honestly had no idea what was going on. That was so.
I thought you would have got something because that door opened and then this door opened.
I had no idea. No, I had no idea. All right. Sumo oranges. They're so good. They are. Yes, Jenny. They are the best. They are just a little bit expensive. They are a little bit of splurge, but when they're on sale, oh man, you can get them for like $1.20 an orange. I know it seems a little bit pricey, but they're big oranges. They're really, really big. It's a treat. Absolute treat. So that was crazy. That was very exciting. I had no idea that was happening. But that's one of the cool things. Like, I won't get emotional because I already have been emotional today. Turning 30, it's kind of a big deal. But I work with some of the most amazing people ever. Like, I am surrounded every single day by the most amazing individuals, and it makes coming into work so much fun. And you guys are all the most amazing individuals as well. So, like, being surrounded fully 360 degrees by amazing people is like It makes my life so much fun, makes coming to work so much fun. And so, yeah. Now, getting back into the varieties here, I know you guys are super stoked about that. So the Planters Jumbo Cantaloupe. Now, this variety of cantaloupe holds true to the name. This one right here, we selected this one because it regularly will get to be between 5 to 10 pounds. So it's a big, honking big cantaloupe, one of the largest varieties of cantaloupe that you can grow. So if you want to grow cantaloupe and you really like cantaloupe, try growing this variety. Now, another great thing about this variety is the seed cavity is much smaller. Traditionally, on a lot of heirloom varieties, love them all, but you typically have a larger size seed cavity. This one has a much smaller seed cavity. And so because of that, you get a lot more yield. It's a larger fruit plus a smaller seed cavity. Like if it were a large seed cavity, a large fruit, you'd be like, okay, it's just proportion. I'm just getting the same. I'm just getting the same, you know? And so with this, you're getting a smaller seed cavity and a larger fruit, meaning you're getting more yield, which is awesome. So consider growing the Planters Jumbo Cantaloupe. You'll thank me later. Super cool. Let's see here. This one. I love this one. So this one right here, again, I like my heirlooms. This is an heirloom melon. It's called the Verd Tardif melon. Now, this one right here is a very seasonal melon. And when I say it's spicy, it does not mean that it is spicy like a pepper. It means it has a lot of spice flavor like cloves, cardamom, nutmeg. It's got a lot of seasonal spices. So another one that's very popular that I'll just allude to is called the Christmas melon, the Piel de Sapo. Now, this is also known as the Christmas melon, correct?
Mhm.
Yes. So this is Christmas melon. We had this in the Advent calendar. If you guys got an Advent calendar, congratulations. We'll do a lot more next year. Don't you worry. But the Tendril Verde Tardif, probably pronouncing that wrong, and the Piel de Sapo are two heirloom melons that are incredible. This one is more of a white-fleshed melon. This one is more of a green-fleshed melon. A little more honeydew essence in this one. This one has a little more of like a... so I've had this a couple times in my life. I would say it tastes more like a pear than a melon. So if you kind of like that kind of musky spice, they both have like cloves, cardamom. They have that like kind of Christmassy mulling spice flavor to them. You can't really take that as a great example either. Like that's the best example that I can give. It kind of has a kind of that. If you've ever had black currant is a great example. If you've ever had black currant, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. It tastes like mulling spices. It has a little cinnamon in it. It has a little clove in it. They're sweet. They are very sweet. But you got those hints of kind of like a mulled cider almost. That will be true with both of these. And not that one. So let's hold on that. So these are kind of your spicy, delicious melons. These are seasonal delicacy. They're beautiful. They're awesome. So these also will do very well on a trellis. Priscilla, yes, these will trellis very well. These will only get to be about 2 to 3, maybe 4 pounds at most. They're a small to medium-sized personal melon. They are delicious, though. Do not pass these up. I know a lot of you tend to sleep on your heirloom melons because they're not like, there's not very, like, we're not accustomed to trying new things. As humans, we don't like change. We're nervous about picking something up new. We are very habitual people. And so when we go to the restaurants, we order the same thing we feel comfortable with. When we go to the grocery store, you may not pick up a sumo orange because you're like, oh, I like my regular tangerines, my little cuties, or I like my navel oranges. Giving change a try is sometimes really wonderful because in the case of those melons, you're going to really thank me. Their flavor is so outstanding. You're not going to be saying, I don't know if I like it. If you like a good melon, you're going to love those. I promise you. Next is the Charente melon. This is a So this actually is a French melon. It is, hold on, sorry. Okay. I'm talking about sumo oranges still. Okay. So these are from the Charente region of France. They're a French heirloom melon. They're a cantaloupe, but you'll notice that they have really beautiful striations down the side, almost like a basketball. And these are really important to the agricultural world because these are actually considered an old world melon. Now, melons they're native from two parts of the world. Typically, you're going to get them from either Iraq or Iran, kind of the Middle East area, or you can get them from India. Two parts of the world bred melons. Now, how they got to France is through, again, the spice trade. You'd have things like spices coming over. Cinnamon was big from India. You'd have things like cotton coming over from, Central America and North America, modern day America. You're going to have things like cacao, right? Chocolate coming from South America. You're going to have salt coming from whether it be like mainland China or different places that salt deposits. A lot of the sea, Italy even big with salt. And you also had seed trade as well. And so a lot of different varieties, for instance, in Mexico, they have the hibiscus, but you also have the Charente melon coming over to France. France grows a lot of heritage old world melons. These are actually native to India. Now, if you've ever grown the Kajari melon, this is a very close relative. I would consider almost a sister to the Kajari melon. The Kajari melon is about this large. You also have like the Tiger melon, also native to India. You have these small little personal size melons, but then you have them being bred with other cantaloupes, and you have a much larger melon. Now, that became because you had India crossbreeding some of their more smaller personal melons. Cucumbers are native to India as well. Cucumbers are also a melon. Very fascinating. You take these tiny little melons, you breed them with the more large size melons and watermelons from Iraq and Iran, the Middle East. Breed them together, you start to get these amazing crosses. So you actually have a large melon with all the amazing flavor of your old world Indian melons. So definitely give this a shot. It is so cool. If you're a seed geek like myself, you find yourself sometimes up at 2 a.m. and you find yourself sometimes doing research on cool varieties, and sometimes you learn stuff. Sometimes you just happen to stumble across a variety, and that's how I stumbled across the Charente melon. Okay, next, moving on. Diamond bell pepper. This one is a true white pepper. It is very similar to gypsy, only the fact that this is going to be larger, more productive than gypsy. This also is more disease resistant than gypsy. This also is going to be slightly sweeter than gypsy. So if you've ever grown gypsy, you're going to love growing the diamond bell. Now this also, because this variety is a kind of a true white pepper, it does obviously have some green tinge to it, but it's as white as you're going to get. This variety right here is a true bell pepper. It's going to get your nice blocky size, but you're not going to get an incredible yield from any bell pepper variety. You might get 10 to 12 fruits per plant, but what it makes up for is flavor. Very sweet. It lacks almost entirely any of that kind of like greenness because it doesn't have that green color, much like the Golden Boy celery. Lacks that greenness, right? You know how someone, when someone tastes something and goes, tastes green. It's like when you have your hair dryer on or like your hair curler, like, you know, it smells hot. Like if you walk, you guys know, women, if you're watching, there's like a scent. Like if someone has a stove on and it's just got a pan on, there's like nothing on in the pan, you're like, something smells hot. Like what? There's a smell that gives off. Well, that flavor of like green, I don't know what green is or what it tastes like, but it lacks that green flavor. So you really get a lot of the sweet flavor from the pepper. Next, this one here it's just cool. Okay. It's just cool. I beg you to try it because obviously it's not something that everyone would typically turn to. I know that turnips and rutabagas tend to get a bad look. People look at them and they're like, no. That's the first thing. It's like, that's what they just do that. Like, Rutabagas in my garden? No. This one I would recommend trying. This is the Laurentian rutabaga. Give them a best shot. That's it. That's about all I got. This one is going to have way more condensed sugars than your traditional rutabaga. Now you're going to harvest these after the first frost. You're going to treat them just like a parsnip. You're going to treat them just like Brussels sprouts. If you harvest them after the first frost, much like kale and things like that, they will store their sugars in certain parts of the plant. This one right here, this rutabaga, forget what you've heard about rutabagas. Forget what you heard about turnips. They will not make you as gassy as a lot of people make them out to. It is such a wives' tale. I eat turnips, I eat rutabagas all the time. The last time I got bad gas or indigestion or burps or anything like that from a rutabaga was zilch. Never. It does not happen. And so I actually really love growing rutabagas. I also love growing turnips. But rutabagas are really hardy. They're very delicious. And because of the fact they're so cold hardy, you can grow them in almost any season. We've often overwintered rutabagas in the ground, harvest them in the middle of winter, just cover them up with leaves, pull the leaves back, pull them up, wash them off, roast them up. They're incredible. We roast them with carrots. We roast them with potatoes. We roast them with, we roast them with carrots. We roast them with potatoes. We roast them with turnips. We do what's called a 3 roots roast, which is sometimes beets, turnips, carrots, rutabagas, any combination of 3 or 4. Throw them together with some olive oil and some thyme, a little bit of salt and pepper. Roast them in the oven at 450 until they're nice and golden brown. Recommend. Next one, turnips. I was just talking about turnips and how much I really enjoy growing them. This one here is very similar to the Shogun or Shogun turnip. This is known as white egg. Now, this is a true all white, all throughout turnip. A lot of times, turnips that are white will also have kind of a green outer shell or a green core, but white on the outside. This is white all the way through. So if you want to try growing a super cool turnip, this is one. These are not spicy. Turnip greens also, if you're not eating your turnip greens, recommend trying it, especially after the first frost. They are so good. So good. We take them in a pan, wash them off really well. You rinse them in just a little bit of cold water to get them all nice and kind of firm. Take them, dry them off real fast. Take a hot pan, ripping hot. Throw them in with a little bit of oil and kind of quick fry them real fast. Just a little bit of oil, get them crackling. Then take salt water, okay? I prefer about maybe about like a 1.5–2% salt water solution. Basically to like 100 grams of water, I'd add like 1 gram, maybe 2 grams of salt. Mix it up, throw it in the pan real fast. You wouldn't do 100 grams, but like I'm ratios, right? Water steams off real fast. The greens absorb all that kind of beautiful salt water, becomes so incredible in flavor. Turnip greens and the roots are great. You're never gonna look at turnips the same way again if you try them like that. So give them a shot. Alrighty, next one. I'm a tomato freak. I love my tomatoes. Goldie tomato is a great one. Now, Goldie tomato is going to be like your beefsteak. It's similar to Kellogg's breakfast. If you love Kellogg's breakfast, it's more gold in color, not quite as yellow. This is amazing. And so definitely recommend trying this. These are going to get about 1 to 2 pounds. They are very disease resistant. They're also really low acid. So they're really, really amazing to eat, especially if you like eating them, on like a BLT or a sandwich, things like that. Cannot recommend them enough. So give them a shot. You'll really love them. Next, another tomato. This is the Engelhart cherry. Now, the Engelhart cherry is it's very similar to the Goldie tomato. It's a very low acid tomato, super sweet, very creamy flavor, very thin skin. So these are not going to be ones you're going to want to leave on your countertop for a long period of time. The thin skins on these they'll deteriorate very fast on your countertop. And because they're lower acid, they'll deteriorate even faster. So these are ones you bring them in, throw them on a salad, pop them in your mouth, snack on them, enjoy them. They're so incredibly good. We actually grew these, or sorry, we had these grown. One of our growers, one of our farms down in Ann Arbor, they actually grow them. Slow Farm, if you're familiar with Slow Farm, they grow them for us, and they grew some of these, and I probably ate like 10 or 12 of them when I was picking them at the farm. Kim, if you're watching, I owe you a couple bucks. I stole a couple they're in my tummy, but they were really good. They're really good. And so yeah, they are really awesome. These are up there with my top favorite varieties of cherry tomatoes. The thin skin, the thing I like about them, a lot of people don't like thick skinned cherry tomatoes because they really pop. They got a lot of like tension on the skins. When you bite them, they just like go everywhere. These have a really soft bite to them, which I really enjoy. Jenny, how do they do with rain or splitting? So they will split, like any tomato will split, but the key is harvesting them at the right time. If you harvest them as they're blushing or near blushing, most of the flavor and ripening process has already been completed. You're not going to gain a ton more out of leaving them on the vine much longer. If you have rain in the forecast, pull them off the vine, pull them inside. They are going to split just like any tomato will. The thin skin will lead them to cracking just like any tomato will. So they're not resistant to that at all. But definitely give this one a shot. All right. The final 30 is this one. You guys have been asking. This is probably, out of all these seeds, the most requested is the last one. I'm glad it was actually last. Thank you for putting that last. But this is the most requested tomato out of all the tomatoes. You guys probably know what this is. But this one right here, I don't know why it took us so long to carry this either. This one right here is like, I'd say probably top 3 most requested tomatoes of all time. We just started carrying it this year, but it's fine because we got it now. And that's the pink Berkeley tie-dye. This is it's a ubiquitous heirloom variety. Anyone that's ever grown heirlooms has heard about the Berkeley pink tie-dye. It is one of your this was like the OG striped tomato. Absolutely incredible. I mean, this led the way. This really paved the way for your other bicolored tomatoes. This was like the very first tomato. And this one right here has a lot of that kind of smoky, when I say smoky, people are like, ugh. Smoky, it's like, I don't know how to describe it. It's got like it's got like a little smoke essence to it. It's like a poblano pepper, right? It's got that kind of like, I don't know. It's got that kind of, I consider kind of smoky tasting, but it also has a lot of hints of like pineapple. It has hints of obviously tomato. It's going to have a lot of, sweetness, but the fact that it's more of like your purple also means that it's got a lot of anthocyanins, and anthocyanins is really great. It's an amazing antioxidant, super good for you. And I always recommend growing foods with lots of anthocyanins because it is so important to get into your diet. Things like purple carrots, your purple eggplants, purple tomatoes, really, really good to have. So I would recommend getting, also, blackberries, lots of anthocyanins, but super good. Blueberries also, anything like that. So try this one. This is like your medium-sized slicer tomato though. So this is not going to be like a big beef steak. It is indeterminate, so it's going to grow all season long. It's going to fruit all season long, which is great. It's also very disease resistant. So if you ever have things like powdery mildew or blight, this is going to be a lot more resistant to those things. Give it a shot. You'll thank me later when you try this. So we are finally carrying this variety as the final 30 varieties. And who knows? Who knows what the future holds? We might carry even more. But these are the 30 for right now. I also want to go easy on my team because our team is, like I said, we're working as fast as we can. We just spent the last month packing up these varieties for you guys. So don't count on any new ones yet, but I do have my eyes on a couple. And so who knows? Once we're caught up, we might unload a few more. But for right now, those are the 30 for 30 I'm honored to be here for 30 years. I know a lot of people, I don't take this lightly. I know 30 is still pretty young. I know a lot of people's lives have been cut short and don't live to be 30. And so every year was 31, 32, 33, 34. Every single year I take as really, every day I treat as very sacred. And so I'm really appreciative of 30 amazing years. Appreciative to know all of you. You guys are awesome. Yes, go Lions, absolutely. On my 30th birthday, nonetheless, hey, wow, that's quite the fun thing. So, um, so yeah, so I'm just so blessed, so honored to be here. Like I said, amazing team that I'm surrounded with. I love every single person that I work with, and I just really appreciate them in my life. And 29 was fun, but 30 is gonna be even more fun. I'm excited. I'm just, one of the things I'm doing is I'm eating a lot healthier. I'm exercising, which is great. You guys notice my face is slimmer. That's why I was encouraged to shave. I've been really buckling down on my diet, getting healthier. I know it's harder to lose weight the older you get. So I've been doing 2.5 miles a day, getting out and ice skating, playing sports, just having fun. It's great. I feel wonderful, and I'm excited for what 30 brings. So yeah, so I want to thank you guys. Can't wait for the 100 for 100. Let's go. Yeah. Okay, well, that's a challenge. We won't do this every year. We won't do this every year because I'll get strung up by my ears.
Fine. Another 100.
Oh, challenge accepted. I could find 100. So I find 200.
They'll sell well.
Well, they'll sell well, yeah. That's the other thing too, you guys. The funny thing is, we always carry new varieties with hopes that you guys are going to love them. And a lot of people always ask, well, there's so many varieties, which one do I choose? And ultimately, you can't grow everything. I understand that. And so the one thing that I would recommend is I'd recommend, trying some new ones, right? I've always said that our garden always has, without fail, at least 10% dedicated to new varieties we've never grown before. It helps us to stay consistent, right? We stay safe. We know that we're going to get what we love. But it's like going to a restaurant with a friend and they order something you never had before. You have enough room in your stomach for one bite to try it. And if it tastes really good, then you're going to know that you can grow that. You can go order that, I should say, the next time you go to the restaurant, right? Same thing applies to the garden. I always leave about 10% of my garden space, 1 or 2 beds, for new varieties. And that's totally fine because it allows me to try these new varieties that I know if I like them or not. And I know that you can't grow all these new varieties. I've seen so many people say, I can't grow 30 varieties. Heck, I can't even grow 10 varieties. That's fine. That's totally fine. Pick your 10 and then, just try one new variety out of those 10. That's 10%. That's it. It's 10%. One new variety out of those 10. And you're on your way to trying the wonderful world of heirlooms. Now, granted, it's going to take you a long time. If you never expand your garden, it'll take you 750 years to try all of our new varieties. But you can grow your garden, expand your garden, and then, you're going to be trying 2 new varieties a year, 3 new varieties a year. This year, I estimate we're going to be trying, I think we're going to be trying probably at least 20, 25 new varieties this year, maybe even more than that. And we've got big plans, really, really big plans. I don't want to spoil too much because it's not fully set in stone yet, but we are closing in, just so you guys know, keeping you guys in the loop. Thanks to your amazing support, we're closing in on purchasing a farm. And I don't want to see too much yet because, again, I don't want to count my eggs till they hatch. But I will say that we are closing in on, it's a small farm. It's a humble farm. It's something I've always wanted to do. But we're going to make it basically a heirloom seed preserve. That's what I'm coining it. It's going to be an heirloom seed preserve. And basically, our mission is going to be to grow as many varieties as possible on this 2.5 acres. And we're going to be basically showcasing that as we go, assuming we get they approved our offer on the land. And we just have to go before the township because it's kind of in a quirky area, but it's great because it worked out for us and got at a price we really wanted. But I want you guys to continue to support us by supporting the seed store. By buying a couple extra packets, it's going to help to fund this. We cannot do it alone. We could never do any of this alone. And so we're going to be really leaning on you guys to help us to make this heirloom seed preserve happen. And it's going to be very exciting because we're going to be basically using all 2.5 acres to grow thousands of varieties. We might only grow 2 or 3 plants per variety, maybe more than that, depending on what it is. But essentially what we're going to be doing is creating this place where you have like the seed banks in Norway, and they're in these mountains and they're frozen and they're stored forever. Well, we're gonna be doing the living version of that, where every year we grow them. We might send some seeds off there. It'd be kind of fun. Maybe that'd be a good video. Send some seeds off to the seed bank, seed vault. But it also gives us the ability we can make our own seed vault. We can have a freezer, store these seeds, save them from generation to generation, and also grow some seeds that are not commercially grown by some of our farmers to carry for you guys. Some seeds that you may never even thought you'd ever see. Some seeds that might be so rare that there might only be 5-10 people growing them in the entire world. So some of these varieties I'm really excited about. And so, so definitely make sure to keep following along. Also, make sure to check out our YouTube channel. If you're not watching on YouTube, this is streaming on both Facebook and YouTube, as well as Instagram. And if you are not watching on YouTube, go head over to our YouTube channel. We just uploaded a new video. It is public. It is live. It is everything you need to know before buying seeds. So it's very, very timely. I uploaded it just before I went live, and I'd recommend checking it out. It's really, really cool. So I need to get off here. I cannot hang out forever, unfortunately. I got a lot of work to do, a lot of orders to pack, a lot of people that I want to help assist. I don't want to be the man in the ivory tower just having fun. There are people out in the trenches there just busting their butts off. So I want to be out there helping them, even though it's my birthday. I would never want to spend I never want to spend a birthday anywhere else. It's really enjoyable. I really enjoy being here. So I want to thank you guys for your support. I want to thank you guys all for watching. I know I can't shout all of you out, but what I'd encourage you guys to do is to my birthday wish for you guys before I end would be to, if you don't have a garden, to grow one, even if it's in containers. Grow a garden of some kind. My one birthday wish: grow a garden. I've seen so many amazing health benefits, so many amazing impacts to my life that people around me have been impacted with a garden. Even growing a few plants, they can be really empowering. And I personally think that if we all grew a garden, that the world would be a much, much different place. And so I would really love for my 30th birthday to have an impact on someone having a garden. I know a lot of you do have gardens, but just grow anything, a pot, even if it's in your window. Throw some plants in the windowsill, grow them, and really enjoy them. And I really, truly think that you are going to be on a path that is so fun, so fun. And now, like I said, I started out with 15 square feet behind my parents' garage, went to 100 square feet, went to 500 square feet, expanded in a cottage garden, went to 2,000 square feet, then to 5,000 square feet, and then went from 5,000 square feet and added another 3,000 square feet at our house. It was up to 8,000 square feet of garden space. And that was all amazing. Every step of the way was enjoyable. It never got overwhelming, never became unfun. Everything was always really exciting. And now we're going from 8,000 square feet. Well, my parents sold their cottage, downsized. They wanted to, they were empty nesters. They wanted to simplify. So we have 3,000 square feet of home garden space. But then we are going to be having this 2.5 acre farm. So we went full circle from 15 square feet to now 2.5 acres, hopefully, of garden space. And so really excited about it. The world is just so amazing. And the world is better with you in it. So thank you guys so much for joining me. Thank you so much for being a part of this live stream. And And one final thing too is just give someone encouragement. Send some little encouragement notes in the comments box, whether that's on YouTube or Facebook. Give some encouragement to someone. Tell them they can do it, because sometimes too that's the biggest thing. It's just it's the fear of failure that sometimes stops us from growing a garden. So give some encouragement. I'd really appreciate that. And yeah, so appreciate you all so much. I love you all. We'll see you guys later. Grow bigger.